All right, so I just wanted to let you guys know that the aliens, it has been non-stop assault around here. Just from, I mean, it's like every little thought. You know what I mean? It literally is. I mean, that I guess that's what they're trying to accomplish, is that feeling of like, it's like it's just like every little fucking thing. Like every little fucking thing, man. Every little thought, every fucking one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't stop. This is what I'm trying to say. It's not normally like this. This is very unusual. And they do fuck with me all the time, yeah. But they slowed down and getting gaslit me and made me think because I was getting to the end of the Constitution, and then changed it, and then started back up, and then I fucking threw a fit about it, and then they changed it to where it seemed like it was coming from other people and stuff, and now it's getting to the point where now that they're just going back to, because I just made a video talking about it, you know, and I guess now they're going to change again, but for whatever reason, just since I published the video just maybe an hour ago, now it's not coming from them anymore. Now it's aliens are just fucking with me, you know? And so but the thing of it is just, they made it feel like, you know, it was other people being mad and jealous and like people that I used to know. But it didn't make any sense because it's like my fucking phone's in Faraday in the garage and there's nothing in here that can even hear me. The television's off. And it's the thoughts that are crossing my mind. They're making me feel like that's causing it. But to the point where I can't even, it's just the way that it feels. You know what I mean? They just did it to me just now. It feels like, it's like, oh my God. It's like the sensation of being insulted, kind of, but it's more, it's a sensation, I'll say it like that. And it's very hard to explain that. It feels like being insulted. It's like the energy of a person who hates you for no good reason. And they're just trash. They're just belligerent trash. You can never make them happy. They're gone. They're gone. They were normal. They saw something was going on with you. Today they're a criminal. It's over. And now it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just that feeling of just like lower class, maybe blue collar type people, you know, just that misunderstood, just, I can't explain it, you know what I mean? But like I feel it, you know what I mean? And then there's things like that for sure, you know what I mean, was the biggest part of it, you know what I mean? That, oh, this is somebody you could never lower, but the problem was, it's like that overcoming me, like whatever that is, like that resonance, you know, of what is inside of them. It's like what you feel like if you were to encounter somebody like that, you know what I mean? And it was like, all of a sudden you realize they're a problem for you, and it's just this belligerent thing, you can never lower them. I don't know if you can even explain that. That even probably wouldn't explain it. But for whatever reason, that's what it feels like, man. Just misunderstood shit, people driven, like just jealous, kind of, like, but not. It's like some irrational, like, they said something to me the other day. It was like, they told me to say it in front of the phone. It was, why is his blue collar kid on his phone? You know what I mean? And I think what they were saying is just, you know, this type that just, oh God, like you can't even hate those kind of people enough. You know what I mean? Like they're just, that's who they are. And it's like, ugh, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just going to be like that. You know what I mean? Just, it's like, this person has something to offer, like, oh, like just that irrational, like, you know, gutter trash type mentality. Just like, oh, just, I could never get through to you. Just, oh, this so just belligerent. Just, oh, you're trash. You know what I mean? Just that feeling, you know what I mean? But the problem is that all fucking day? You know what I mean? Here and there, okay, but now it's like they started this back in 2016 when this very first occurred. And it was when I put my Twitter handle public, and I felt it. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, these people are going to try to fucking kill me. This is belligerent trash. Just felt it. And then I was like, but I could feel the threat level of it. I was like, because I had already gotten really good at just not being killed. And so either way, the point of the story is just, so that, what I'm saying is just that they were doing that because of something, I think, that has to do with, because this is when they made me start feeling Alex Jones shit. No, that's not true. But it just got a lot worse around that time period. And I just was going off on Alex Jones all the time. He almost seemed like emotionally kind of beat up from it. When I saw him, I went through a lot of shit because of that dude, but either way, the point of the story is what I'm saying is that it just felt like there was a lot going on in the way of, like that was the beginning, you know what I mean? And it wasn't just, see, with the government, feeling the threat coming, I don't know. I guess you do kind of feel the intentions of it a little bit, but with the government, the first time I didn't feel anything at all, The second time it did feel like a bunch of crazy Mexicans coming after me, but who knows what that necessarily has to do with. Maybe that might be another message because part of their agenda has to do with that. But either way, just that, just to say that, I feel like, what they're doing is, especially, and this may be kind of a, I don't know, going off on something stupid, but everything that has to do with, Joe Rogan being in a baptism gown was because I constantly was catching him hacking my phone, and then there was, but he wasn't the only one, but he's the only one that they made a big deal about it. And then there was my nephew who, he has a lot, he was very well liked and very popular, very attractive, very smart, very physically strong. And so, but he's short, you know what I mean? And so, and then there was things with Alex Jones that has to do with the eggs, it's so creepy. What they're talking about, shit that was just to trash my mind and made me go insane. When I was dealing with everything out in California. And so, but see, that was another thing about, just to make me go crazy about, but see, Alex Jones, you know what I mean? See, what they're doing is they're pointing out and they said he rapes her girlfriend. They said, he makes her face plant and all this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Building it up in her mind, making you see it, So, but what I'm saying is just, what they're doing is, because Alex Jones is very short, you know what I mean? And so what they're saying is that, people that have a lot of potential in life, you know what I mean? But they're short, or you got these like blue collar type people, and then so let's just say a person emerges among them who's very talented, very smart, has a lot to offer. They're going to try to fucking kill his ass. You know what I mean? So what they're just doing is just letting us know that. You know what I mean? Because we have to watch out for that. It's almost like we just can't watch out for it enough, honestly. I think that's what they're saying. Because the thing of it is, excuse me, the thing of it is just that I don't know what that does, but either way, their main problem with it is the whole thing. See, they just made me feel again like one of these losers is like getting off on this and like this is making his identity, like trying to measure up every second in his own mind, trying to find something about you that makes you look like you might that he's and all this kind of shit. That just happened. But what I'm saying is one of these blue collar people that I wind up around, But either way, and he went on to become something, so I don't even know why they're pointing at him, but he was just somebody who was close to me who fell into that category. Look, the point of the story is, maybe he did have something to do with this, because he's a very weak-minded person, but either way, the point of the story is just, what they're saying is that, you know, if a person, see, what they're doing is they're thinking about watching out for our evolution. You know what I mean? Because what they essentially want is, you know what I mean? They don't want the smart people to die. You know what I mean? Because essentially it's like a big science experiment for them. You know what I mean? It's like, how fast can I build this thing? You know what I mean? And that's part of it. So anyways, but the thing of it is, you know, so that's what's going on. So that's what's going on. That's at least a major part of it. You know what I mean? It's just to say, you know, I don't want to see those kinds of people die and all this kind of shit. So, but anyways, or maybe to teach some life's lessons as well, you know, because that is upsetting, you know. Sorry. That is upsetting for, you know, for a person to die at the hands of like a trash person, a belligerent trash person who can't get their heads around something stupid or simple or doesn't have anything to do with them at all. You know, that is offensive, very offensive. Or even just a short person with an inferiority complex. You know what I mean? Like, that's sad, that's pathetic. That motherfucker should have killed himself before he got around to doing that. You know what I mean? So, but the point of the story is just, you know, I just gotta say, man, I can't tell you how disgusted I am with it. You know what I mean? Just the way that these motherfuckers think is just, I tell you, you know, that's like every waking moment for them. You know what I mean? When it comes to me, you know what I mean? That's dedication, man. That's real dedication. And honestly, by the time you get around to trying to kill somebody, that's a lot of commitment. You know what I mean? Resources were put into that. Heads were put together. People thought about it. You know what I mean? People talked about it. People lived it. You know what I mean? Moment to moment, day after day. How do we kill this person? How do we get by in life without having to see him here? You know what I mean? That's very sad. You know what I mean? And that's literally going on. You know? So it's just unbelievable. You know what I mean? That's, and I'm telling you, like that, you know what I mean? That level, you know what I mean? The level of commitment, you know, groups of people working together, you know what I mean? Like, on that motive, like, and that's one thing that I think probably one of the reasons why they have to make such a big deal about it, because we're going to have a hard time understanding that. You know what I mean? We're going to have a hard time believing it. You know what I mean? To believe that some people are so like belligerent white trash, like they're just miserable. You know, it's just full of rage, and they're just full of blind rage. You know, and that's it all the time. You know, and so it's just, what I'm saying is just, they don't want us to underestimate that. You know what I mean? The potential of several people to put their heads together and work on something like that. You know what I mean? To work on it day after day. You know what I mean? We gotta get him. You know what I mean? We don't understand that. You know what I mean? But we know it's out there. You know what I mean? And it's just, oh, you know, Uh, I don't know. I try to understand it. You know what I mean? I spend a lot of time sitting around trying to think about it. You know, what is that? You know what I mean? How do you wake up in the morning and like go about your day knowing that you're up to something like that? You know, I don't even understand that. You know what I mean? That's what really frustrates me more than anything. Just the mentality of it. I mean, these people basically belong on Jerry Springer. You know what I mean? I mean, could you imagine anybody on Jerry Springer have any kind of like any shame? You know what I mean? And like getting jealous and trying to kill somebody? And essentially, that's. But what they're talking about is like blue collar people. And it's there. You know what I mean? In fact, I think it's probably even worse because, well, maybe not worse, but I mean, they have resources. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's that mentality almost like Jerry Springer, like, you know what I mean, with a little bit of money is just dangerous. So essentially, that's what it is. I mean, and really, what infuriates me the most about it is it's really not that. It's like something else that you could never even pick up on, but it's just going on like they live their daily lives like that, But they're out there doing it. You know what I mean? They're actually out there, like, it's crazy. It is really, that is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because I was around a lot of these people, and to imagine them to the point of like, but I've seen people lose it right in front of me before. You know what I mean? Just out of jealousy, and it's just not good. I mean, if you have to be around somebody like that, it can be bad. And honestly, either way, it could be bad because when you see somebody like have a full-blown meltdown right in front of you over jealousy to the point where they're just incoherent. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn, dude, like, I couldn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like, nothing I could say in that moment would have calmed them down, And a lot of what goes on with me in life invites a lot of jealousy because I think it's just mysterious and doesn't make sense. But either way, the main thing is for whatever reason, I don't know why people get jealous of that. And but either way, I don't know. Maybe it does go on like this a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people that complain about it, in music. So, but that's just. But yeah, I mean, it's when you see somebody like that just have a full-blown meltdown right in front of you, it's like, this motherfucker is dangerous. And I don't even know how, like, that's the thing is like, when people start getting so jealous like that, there's so much commitment in their minds that all of their faculties are engaged at that point. You see what I mean? Like, essentially, like if you're scared, your faculties are engaged. If you're obsessed with something, your faculties are engaged, at a high level. And whatever it is, jealousy will engage their faculties, And when you have somebody with engaged faculties, you've got somebody that's very difficult to contend with, That's why it says in the Art of War, do not press a desperate enemy, because you're talking about people that are thinking at a very high level once you've provoked it, And so, but, as far as, that's concerned, it is. And there's a certain level of commitment that goes along with it too. That's just, I don't know. There's a lot of emotion in that, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's almost like revenge in a way, like the emotions that drive revenge, you know, would almost put that in the same category, you know, because they've got problems emotionally because they don't like the way they feel. You're causing it. So how do I make that stop? I kill you. You know what I mean? So in a way, they're desperate to make it stop. You know what I mean? So you gotta factor the desperation into it. You know. And so, anyways, but the as far as all that's concerned, yeah. But you know, I kind of went on a tangent, but you know, I already said what I had to say, you know. So, but just to say, yeah, they are just, dude, it's crazy. It is fucking crazy. Okay, I'm talking like every fucking moment of the fucking day. Okay, this is nuts. You know what I mean? This is totally insane. I told him, I was like, are you gonna do this all? Like, is this gonna be every moment? Like I said, it's like, is this gonna be every moment? Like every moment, is that it? Like everyone, you know? And it was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like basically what they made me see was somebody's like, it's like I'm getting after you right now. I don't even know why you're asking me that. Like I have evil intentions against you right now. So essentially, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just like, it's fucked up. They won't even let me say it right. They made me feel like some jealous person is watching me and won't let me do it or something. But you know how I said it, you know, like, is this gonna be every? I was just basically like, is this just gonna be every? Like, is this gonna be every moment? Like, or like, is it like, is it not gonna stop? Like every fucking moment? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's really crazy. Okay, and what's going on in here is not good. I'll tell you that much. And I don't understand why they're doing this. It's got to have something. It's got to have something to do with the fact that I'm getting finished with the Constitution. I know that. I'm laughing because it's just to you know, I think to myself that it's I'm disposable now. You know, it's like they don't need me anymore. So just throw them in the fucking you know, in the bullshit. And so what I'm saying is just, you know, but I don't think that's a good enough, you know, rationale. But like even right now, they're making me feel like a jealous person is lost, like, and like it lives on your phone, and like that's a dangerous person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody I used to know, you know what I mean? That I haven't spoken to in 20 years. You know what I mean? Literally. And I don't even, I told myself a long time ago, like, I'm done with social media. And me and my friend were talking about it, and we were just both like, you know, he said, you could put that on my tombstone. Did not do Facebook. And that's a perfect way to go about your life. You know what I mean? Because who needs to know what's going on with you? You know, stay in your lane, work hard, and you will find, you know, contentment in life. But what I'm saying is just, you know, that's my attitude about it. You know, so, but, you know, what a mistake. You know what I mean? To ever even put my name out there again. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I understood something along these lines to ever have that attitude. You know what I mean? That I'm just never gonna do Facebook. The aliens had me come back out and start doing Facebook again. But as far as the Twitter thing is concerned, you know, but I don't really like. I don't even. Then they had me turn my Facebook off. So, thank God. Because then losers will start thinking I'm their slave or something. Then blue collar white trash. And they'll be over here trying to fucking drag me around or something. Look, the point of the story is just what I'm saying is that the yeah, It's just, you know, God, it's just messed up. God damn. I don't know. See, they're making me feel this shit again. God damn. It's more of this blue collar white trash stuff. Like, blue collar white trash is coming for you. This is almost, I think, like, I think this is going to be my new purpose in life sometimes. Because, like, okay, you did the Constitution. Now we got to make sure they don't hurt the smart people. So here's what I'm going to do. Fuck you up every day and have you complain about it all day long, every fucking day. You know what I mean? And that'll be your new, like, how I'm repurposed in life. You know what I mean? Seriously. Sometimes I think that might be the case. Maybe somebody does need to complain about it all the time. Fuck it. I don't even give a shit. These motherfuckers need to be complained about. A lot. You know what I mean? This is how they live their lives. There's people out there that do this. You know what I mean? There's people out there that literally live their fucking lives like this. Have you ever heard any rap music? Seriously, this is like, this is almost like, this is all they talk about. You know what I mean? This is it. This is all they talk about. You know what I mean? How many people hate them? You know? That's it. It's like their whole life. It's like that's what it all came down to. Was just insulting them. Probably, in my opinion, just to screw with their heads so they can't even do nothing. That's what I personally believe. But either ways, the main thing is just I don't even remember. But yeah. It's just, I hope that's not what's going on. You know what I mean? I hope I don't wind up. And to be honest with you, I really don't think that's what's going on. I really don't. And that's why I was able to figure out that there was something else to everything that they were doing. You know what I mean? And I don't even think they needed me to figure that out. The whole point of it was just for galvanization. That was it. You know, it is the whole reason they fucked me up. And we didn't even really need to know that for it to work, you know, because I don't know, something about that, just the way it just works against people, and that's it. But I don't want to talk about it, but the main thing is just it, but either way, yeah, I think probably it has something to do with that. Probably it's just getting worse right now because of what's going on with you know, putting the Constitution out there. So they need more galvanization. You know, right now. So maybe that's it. If anything, I think that's probably it. But, you know, ultimately, I believe that, yeah, just like I was saying, the whole reason I was able to determine any of it was because I knew that there was something else to that, you know, that it wasn't just something stupid. They weren't just fucking with me for some stupid reason, you know. That did not make me feel better about it. It just made me want to figure out what the hell it was. And I still don't feel good about it, you know, because it hasn't been any fun. I'll be honest with you. Pure hell doesn't even begin to describe it. You know, being trapped in your own head, to be tortured inside your own head, to have no way out. You know what I mean? That's the real issue, is the feeling of being trapped, you know, and having like no leverage at all. Because I've tried to think of anything I can, but, you know, ultimately they've reverse engineered this entire situation at least thousands of years in advance. And nothing that I'm going to think of that they didn't already think of. Okay. So if they're doing it, then they found a way to fucking get away with it and still get me to do every fucking thing they want. Either ways, the point of the story is just, but yeah, it just sucks. You know, it really sucks. So So, but either way, regardless of whatever the fucking reason is, just say that it's going on a lot, you know. That might be interesting for someone. It's, you know, it's really crazy and very infuriating. You know, especially like, you'll be going on about your daily life after you get done watching this. But as soon as I get done making this fucking video, so I already started, that there was something right there. They usually don't do this on camera as much. And you know, I'll be over here and it'll just boom, and then that'll be within seconds, and I'll be fucking totally fucked in the head. I'm kind of fucked in the head, if you can not notice. See, they're not gonna even let me have that. See, they're not gonna let me have that. You see what I mean? This is the kind of stuff that they do to me all the time, where it's like pinpoint targeting little moments where it's like, oh, that would mean something to you, so I'm gonna take it and let you know. You see what I mean? Because it would mean a little bit of something to me just to like have that, to be like, oh, hey, yeah, it's gonna feel like that. But see, they're gonna assault me and make it to where I can't even think straight. And I can't even get the fucking message across. And that's just an example, you know what I mean? But that kind of shit is just gonna go on constantly, okay? And so, but anyways, and I know it's like, why is that a big deal to you? Okay, well, it's kind of a big deal to me because I just want you to understand what the hell's going on. I mean, goddamn, you know what I mean? You know, it's just fucked up. I don't know. It's very bad. It's like a fucking Saw movie in my head. You know what I mean? Like the way that this thing goes about finding ways to screw with my fucking mind, you know?